Well, thank you, Gaurav. We're now going to turn to Mr. Ryan Higgins, owner of Tamarian, who will speak on his thoughts on Nepal and the status of weaving there. Mr. Higgins, please.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you very much, Rob, for inviting me to take part in this. I really appreciate it. Since taking the lead here at Tamarian, I've worked to ensure in the last several months that our core values have remained relatively unchanged, but enhanced and adopted for the time period. And that simply is beautiful rugs, inventory, innovation, at a fair price for a sustainable future, if I could just sum it up that way. Nepal is the heart of our business, and Nepal, for as long as I've been in this business now, which is going on 25 years, has never been without some kind of major challenge or catastrophe. The royal family was assassinated. That gave rise to the Maoist uprising. The revolution lasted for years and affected business. And actually that is partly where some of our manufacturers came into their greatest strength. There was a blockade where India blocked the southern border for a long time. There was, previous to that, there was the earthquake. And now we have COVID. COVID is unlike any other challenge that they face, but every other challenge that Nepal has faced is unlike the previous as well. So I think to that point, it would speak to Nepal's resiliency. They can adapt almost to to anything. I mean, these are some of my best friends and some of the greatest people I know. And being that Nepal's production is run mostly by Tibetan refugees, they're no stranger to difficult times in their own lives or the lives of their parents who had to flee from their homeland and actually remain refugees in Nepal to a certain extent. So these are great, resilient people, and I'll just leave it at that. They will continue. The current situation in Nepal is that there's a lockdown right now. It's just been extended to September 2nd today, and it may continue. But throughout that, production has remained steady. We do our part to get materials and supplies well in advance, 6 to 9 months out. And whenever we can, we get our raw materials. So production has remained relatively steady. Although throughout the course of the Maoist revolution, production had decentralized, we've done our part to kind of bring it back together into larger weaving facilities, but not like previous ones where you would have thousands of weavers. But now maybe we have, hundreds of weavers within certain facilities as we've continued to improve them. So the biggest thing that we've been facing is shipping delays. We've been trying to get rugs out. They travel over land for containers to go out via sea. And so there's all these delayed points along the way, and air freight has been extremely costly and kind of catch as catch can getting on flights out of Nepal. So that has affected business on on the retail trade showroom side of delivering products to our clients. So we're working to continually address that. That's really a day-by-day issue. However, the current state of the lockdown that they're facing right now, as we speak, is that it may actually benefit weaving as weavers choose not to go home for the holiday that's upcoming. And usually Nepal shuts down for a couple months during the holiday. So I think that kind of, again, it's just such a fluid situation, as everybody knows. What I say today may be affected by something completely different tomorrow. I think there's an asteroid headed our way. So that may take care of a lot of our problems. So we'll see. Thanks. At any rate, so the impact on the wholesalers, that I've spoken to is generally the same. I mean, I've talked to my friends who do Indian production, Danny at French Accents, and I speak regularly, and we share a lot of the same clients. And he's suffering a lot the same way that we are. However, people are subject to the geography of where they are and what the situation is there. So if you're in New York City and you were shut down for 3 solid months without mail, your situation is going to be slightly different than ours here in Maryland. So it really is kind of where you're located, what part of the country you're in terms of dealing with these types of issues. So I think it's better to let other people speak on that themselves. But most everybody is having somewhat of similar troubles with shipping and getting shipments out of the respective country and into port. And so hopefully that will be resolved. But as Gaurav said, I think that I'm anticipating 12 to 18 months of continued uncertainty. That's my anticipation, just based on the general feeling of what the crystal ball is showing me right now. So the ways the market is affected right now, what we're seeing is the movement of existing inventory has been one of our strongest abilities to survive throughout this. So it gives us flexibility, the ability in terms of pricing. We can discount a lot easier a product that's here in country that we've already owned, and we can deliver it quickly before, like I said asteroid comes and we can get paid on it. So, as opposed to taking orders. So, so we're working definitely with our inventory in creative ways to help our clients out wherever possible. And so I feel like what's going to continue to happen, and again, it's interesting listening to other people's viewpoint, because at least from the Nepal situation, I feel like the strong bonds will become stronger. There's this kind of 4-part supply chain that begins with the customer and then goes to the trade showroom or the retailer, and then to us, the wholesaler, and then to the manufacturer or exporter. And what I have seen, and the greatest difficulty we faced in the past several years, is the disruption to that chain. And so as people who were buying 1 or 2 or 3 rugs continue to cancel orders from their suppliers, it strengthens our link to Nepal, or the little bit we do in India. It just strengthens that bond. So it's my belief that technology will help enhance that. People will learn to use technology to enhance their own inner being and their own place in the chain, as opposed to using it to usurp the chain, which I think is kind of what the common theme has been for this past few years. And that disruption has kind of created all this uncertainty, the kind of shakeup, if you will. So I think that we're going to see the benefits of being in your respective place, because you're limited, by all these other things, by COVID, by social unrest, by this, by that. And so you really have to look inward to see what you can do with what you have in front of you. You have to use your own resources as opposed to try and pry off of somebody else's resources. And I am a firm believer that hand-knotted rugs will continue to be a sought-after luxury home necessity. And I think that it's not a luxury item in the sense that it's like, can you have it, can you not have it? I think a rug is a necessity in a house. It's a human need. You need a soft place to walk. You need a soft place to sit. I don't know that I've ever been in a home without a rug. And as long as there is some level of wealth, which by all indicators, the rich have gotten richer, there is wealth, and people want to continue to have high-end products. This, to me, isn't just wishful thinking, it's more common sense. The rugs also speak to, the hand-knotted rugs speak to everything that people want today, something environmentally sustainable, something beautiful. And while different elements of the weaving process may be automated, or industrialized to a degree. The handcraft nature is what's going to kind of reach deeper and make that human connection. It's the process. It's not just the product. So I think that it's very likely that after we work through this phase of COVID, that we'll be in a much better place with the hand knotted rugs. And so for the future of sales, I kind of feel like it's going to change. There's going to be more sampling. We're working on sampling products out differently than we have in the past to reach the end user easier, to assist our retailers and trade showrooms in reaching them. And I think that Zoom obviously has become a huge part of doing business right now. I'm on a call almost daily, much to my chagrin. But I think there will be also still some limited but more focused trade shows. We actually did attend Atlanta. We may have been the only people there. I personally was not there, but we had one sales representative there who was able to show the product. And I think ultimately, because it's a hand knotted product, you can use technology to kind of work with this, but I cannot, say here, don't you guys do love this, right? This is beautiful, right? While you're at it, call me. It's on sale right now. But no, it's a great way to show product, but you still need to touch it. You need the hand, you need to see the colors with your own eyes. So I think there's still going to be that human component that cannot be changed or replaced. So I'll let you know how that goes. I do have a special announcement on September 1st. We'll begin a partnership with Label Step, and that also speaks to the sustainability and us, the holistic approach of reaching the weavers themselves, trying to do our part to improve the life of the weaver, because it's a whole cycle, and the cycle is circular. And being at one end of the process, we need to make sure that we're giving back to the creators if we want this to continue. So I think that that's very important that we finally take that step. So I think in closing, again, thank you for letting me speak. I'd just like to say that we will continue to put our full effort, not only into the survival of the rug industry, but to the success of the entire rug industry. So your success is interwoven into our success. Thank you.